First off, thank you for coming to this press conference. I know it was, it's been a long week for everyone here. Obviously, we all know why we're here. We're pleased to announce that Jaime Martinez is the interim head coach through the remainder of the 2014 regular season. Just a couple quick notes about the game itself. It's our Clayburgh Bank homecoming game against Angelo State. Per Fred Noosh, the Javelines are 7-0 when hosting the Rams on homecoming game at Javelina Stadium. All-time record, they are 17-5 at Javelina Stadium, 32-14. And that's the overall record as well. Jaime Martinez is in his 10th season as the offensive line coach, 10th season as recruiting coordinator, and in his 4 years playing here, he was a two-time All-American, and he led the team to a 39-13 overall record, 21-0 in conference play. So without further ado, let me introduce Vice President for Intercollegiate Athletics and Campus Recreation, Scott Gines.
Well, thank you, Kelvin, and on behalf of Texas A&M University Kingsville and Javelina Athletics, I welcome you all to this press conference. And as Kelvin already shared with you, the purpose of assembling you this morning is to give you an opportunity to meet, to ask questions of, and to get to know better interim head football coach Jaime Martinez. But before I do that, allow me to make a few comments, and I make these few comments simply so that our time here can be focused on the purpose that I just shared with you. It is rare to make a mid-year change in leadership, at least from my personal conviction. When you make a change of that type, you are changing, if you will, the everyday ebb and flow or equilibrium of a group, of a team. And this is our largest roster team. But your purpose ought to be to increase creativity, to increase your ability to adapt, and also to be ruthlessly opportunistic. And I'm going to define that term in this way. You need to look for ways to make a positive difference in all the lives of the people you serve. So in sharing that, I've also shared with you the charge that I've given to not only Jaime, but our assistant coaches, and James Jefferson and Roderick Taylor, and that threesome, if you will, as well as our very valuable assistants, and I'm speaking of our graduate assistants and our volunteer assistants, extremely valuable folks who assist us on the day-to-day. Parker Executive Search, based out of Atlanta, Georgia, will be the point person in running the search for the head football coach. Our optimal timeline is to complete that search by December 15. Optimal is the key word from that standpoint, and we've initiated that process. When I make a selection on an interim, I believe I've done it, if memory serves, about a half dozen different times in 3 different roles while being an employee at this university since 2007. Ironically enough, I've been an interim 3 different times in different capacities myself. That's not the point, though. The point is this. For me, when you look for an interim leader, you look for someone with great experience and institutional history. And as Kelvin just shared with you, Jaime Martinez has that. He's an alumnus. He has been an assistant coach in recruiting here for the past decade. He played on great Javelina teams that went 21-0 in Lone Star Conference play, advanced to Division II playoffs on 3 different occasions, and he played on the only team to play for the Division II National Championship, not only here at the Division II level, but also it's the only team to have ever played to date in the title game within the Lone Star Conference. He was coached by and mentored by current NFL assistant coach Juan Castillo, who is also a Javelina Hall of Fame member. So hopefully in my brief comments I've answered any questions, wonderings, or gaps that you may have had from that standpoint. And it is my great honor and privilege to introduce you to Jaime Martinez, our interim head football coach. And Jaime, you can take it away, sir.
Thank you, Scott. First of all, I'd like to start off with a few thank yous. First of all, my dad's here with me today. Unfortunately, my mother's not here today. We lost her this summer. But Dad, thank you, and thank you for everything that you've done for me along the way. Wouldn't be standing here without you. Second of all, to this community and this university, this place has really kind of molded me into the person that I am, because I spent a lot of years here. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I think it's been pretty good for me. This place is, like I've told people many times, means a whole bunch to me because of the fact that I've met my wife here. I got my degree from A&M Kingsville, got to play football, and just enjoy a lot of those things you do as a college student. Second of all, I'd like to thank Scott for giving me this opportunity. There's the other two coaches on our staff that are full-time and well qualified for this job. I was just fortunate enough to have it. And I'll speak on those two guys here in a minute, as well as the other members of our staff. Third of all, just all you guys being here means a lot to me, just because of the fact that, this is, like somebody said, taking an interim job is like somebody handing you a box full of rattlesnakes and telling you hold on to it until it's over. But right now we're going to try to stay the course in what Coach Callaway has done for us here. None of us would be here without him, so we do thank him as well. As far as the staff's concerned, Coach Taylor is going to continue to coach the quarterbacks and also call the plays on offense. And as far as the defense is concerned, under Coach Callaway did call the defense, but now Coach Jefferson will continue to coach the defensive backs, and he'll be running our defense. So you have any questions, you can kind of filter those to those gentlemen. As far as the other positions are concerned, I'm going to stay with the offensive line. I'm pretty fortunate. I got a pretty good group of guys that are pretty disciplined, so I can kind of be able to go and move around, and they can kind of continue on themselves. And then also, we also got to talk about our graduate assistants, the guys that do all the work behind the scenes and don't get nothing but a pat on the back sometimes. They get told they do wrong a lot, but when they do right, they hardly ever get told that they do right. Coach Herring coaches our tight ends. Coach Griffin coaches our running backs. Coach Chavez coaches our wide receivers. And then we got Coach Brown, who coaches our defensive line now that Coach Callaway's no longer with us, and then Coach Baptiste, who coaches our linebackers. What we're going to try to do with this staff is we're going to try to move forward, like Scott said. We're going to try to figure out a way to stay the course, try to figure out a way to continue to compete. And I think that's the biggest thing that he talked to us about as we met on Monday. Find a way to compete and find a way to get these guys to play together. I think, it started off a little rough on Tuesday. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. We meet back here right before practice. When I walked in that room on Tuesday morning, there's 90 kids in there. I felt like I was the only man standing there. Those guys were hurt. But the coaching staff has done a good job. We've kind of rallied around them and tried to keep them going in the right direction. And that's what we're going to try to continue to do. Today was a lot better day as far as practice is concerned. And we got a couple more days to gear up for St. Angelo. By any means, these guys, they're human. And I speak with these guys as our football team. They're human. They got feelings. Even though some of them are big and some of them are small, they do have feelings. And right now we're going through that process. So is it an excuse? No. But I tell you what, these guys are really showing that they're going to try to work through this, and we're going to try to give them the best chance to be successful. Okay? Any questions so far? It's good because it's right around lunchtime, and I know everybody wants to go. Any questions?
No one has any questions, just a couple quick notes. Coach Martinez, again, we will continue to coach offensive line and be the recruiting coordinator and the interim head coach. Coach Jefferson will be the defensive coordinator. Taylor and the rest of the staff will stay on offense as well. Well, Baptiste and Brown will be on defense. If you guys have any questions, feel free to contact me or Coach Martinez. We appreciate you guys stopping by. And again, thank you, and thank you for supporting the Javelinas. We look forward to seeing all of you guys there at 7 p.m. on Saturday, October 18th for the Clayburgh Bank Homecoming.